This episode is brought to you by Dyson. For all of your styrene dust needs, Dyson delivers. Not sponsored by Dyson. Welcome back to the Skill Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 5 of the What's on the Bench Weekly. And this has been going pretty well, but this is going to be a quicker episode this week. I'm slammed at work. And it was a very busy weekend, so I didn't get a lot accomplished on a lot of the ongoing projects. There has been some progress on the Earth Roamer though, which I'm happy to say. Not quite enough to warrant a whole episode on it, but some stuff happened. As you can see here in this B-roll footage that I shot, there is a roof panel. And I made an Amazon order this week and I forgot to order the solar panels, so we will not be seeing any solar panels installed this week. But you will see that garage door is starting to take shape. The curvatures are correct. It actually works. It stays in the tracks. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited about how this whole back garage door thing is working. It moves under its own power, which means it'll definitely lift with a servo. We're going to route some cable around and make it sort of work a bit better so it actually goes up and maybe even down. It's all if I can figure out how to wrap my head around something like that. But it's coming together, and there's been a lot of sanding on both sides now, driver's side and passenger side. I've smoothed out that joint on the angled piece, and I used a very common technique using styrene slurry, which, styrene slurry is, let's get this Dyson out of here. Styrene slurry is where you take scraps of styrene, whether it be dust or shavings or drill outs or whatever, and you put it into a jar just like this. Add a little bit of MEK, and MEK is super dangerous stuff, methyl ethyl ketone. And it's very bad for you, very, very bad. All the things on here, don't do this, don't do that, don't eat it, don't drink it. It'll burst into flames. It's super bad for you, and you can't really get it in a lot of places. Some places will sell an MEK substitute. That's what I would look for. It basically does the same thing, but it's slightly less carcinogenic. Make sure you're using it in a well-ventilated area, maybe even wear a mask, and don't get it on you. I know, it's like, why are we even using this stuff? It's gonna kill us. Just don't use it a lot. You'll be all right. Put some of that in with some styrene scraps, let it sit for a day or two, and it will become a nice pasty kind of slurry, which you can then apply with another piece of styrene into gaps. Then you're filling holes in styrene with styrene. It's an amazing way to do it, and nothing beats it. It's fantastic. Let's open this up so you can get a better look at it. Yep, just goopy old styrene dissolved in its own juices. But very handy, very useful. Fills gaps and makes things look really nice and smooth. I also did a lot of sanding on the front sort of sleeper cab element. That was printed quite roughly, so it did need a lot of sanding. Still needs some more. Probably will get a fill coat as well before we can call that done. But progress is progress. It's moving forward and not backwards, and that's a good thing. I do have to rethink where the door is going to go. Was going to go over the wheels, and I was told that's not the right place to put it. So we'll put it in the proper place and sort that all out once we get to that stage. Still lots of time to fix those tiny little problems. And if you're enjoying this video, you like what's on the bench, hit the like button. It's the only way the algorithm knows that you're enjoying the video. So do that. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. Since that Earth Roamer takes up so much space, and once I've built the kind of the box onto the actual chassis, it's not so easy to get it on and off. So it's on there forever, and I've covered the rest of it in a plastic bag so I don't get styrene dust everywhere as I'm sanding. There's a lot of sanding going on. There were a lot of suggestions for other things. Air conditioners on the roof, that will happen. Some sort of satellite dish, that will happen too. I think that's a really great idea. There's lots of little bits and pieces, accessories, and little like compartments that I want to build into it. So there's still a lot to do on that, but I'm having a blast doing it. It's gonna be fun once it's done. Okay, moving on. Here's the Range Rover Classic, or as I'm calling it currently, the Carolina Lean Range Rover Classic. There's not a lot of suspension going on in the back there yet. I ordered a cantilever kit for the SCX-10-2 from RC Mart 3 weeks ago, and it still isn't here. So once that's installed, it's gonna be a lot better. Wheelbase set right now to 12.3. I think the actual Range Rover Classic wheelbase is 12, which is totally fine because the raw builder's kit comes with all 3 link lengths, 12.3 inch, 12 inch, and 11.4. So that's good to know. Good to be able to change that when I realized what actual length it is. Second thing, wheels and tires are on here. The RC 4-wheel drive Wrangler MTR, my most favorite tire of all time. Matched with the CC Hand Range Rover Classic 5-spoke wheel. They look fantastic on there. I think it's going to be really nice once they get weathered up a little bit. You'll also notice that the GCM front motor mount is attached and in its proper location. I put a few spacers on either side of the existing shock hoops and just put a spacer in the panhard, and everything seems to have worked just fine. Now we've got a nice solid front suspension and a great front motor mount, which I'm very happy about. Put some S8E shocks from Vanquish on there with the orange bits because the truck is staying orange. It's been overwhelmingly decided. The paintwork stays, the metalwork stays. It's just going to be a refurb. It's a frame off restoration where the only thing that changed was the frame. But yeah, happy to see a little bit more progress on this. I think it's going to be a spectacular build. I cannot wait for it to be done. The No Fun Haver is approaching its completion. You'll see that there are a couple of small details from the last time you saw it last week. And I think this is the last time you're going to see the No Fun Haver on What's on the Bench in any format, whether it be weekly or the other versions of What's on the Bench. The next logical step is to get this out and run it. And I think it's going to be a good video because I've been doing a lot of stuff lately with K-Pop RC, and he's local to me. And he knows how to hold a camera / drive a car. So I think we're going to get out there. We're going to do a little collab of sorts and get some footage of both of our trucks respectively, this one included. Things that kind of got finished out. The Lowrance got put on there and weathered a little bit, and I've got a 3-point harness for the spare tire, which looks awesome. That's from Club 5 Racing. That's from Club 5 Racing. It's the 10 scale 3-point spare tire tie-down strap in orange. And that'll work for 1.9s or 2.2s or 5-inch tires, 6-inch tires. These straps are super long until you cut them. I did a little tiny bit of weathering so they didn't look brand new, and I think this truck is pretty much buttoned up. You just got to put something on the back there. I haven't decided yet, but there's been a lot of great suggestions. So yes, next time you see the No Fun Haver, it will be in video outdoors. So there you go. That one's almost done. And then finally, let's bring it over here. The CUCV is still in exactly the same state it's been in since the last time it was on this show, but there will be some progress coming very shortly. And a lot of people asked me how easy was it to do this conversion, to change this Blazer body from RC 4-wheel drive into a standard long wheelbase, long bed pickup. Well, it's pretty darn easy, and I'm going to take you through all the steps now because, smartly, I filmed the entire process and then didn't do anything with that footage. So this is a bonus episode where I can share all of the details with you. I'm going to voice over that, so let's start doing that right now. Okay, so we start with a standard RC 4-wheel drive Blazer, and let's take that roof panel off. You can also get rid of the interior, any other parts you're not going to need. And then what I use is standard everyday masking tape to make my straight lines. These are going to be the cut lines. That's where I'm going to be cutting the body to remove the back half, which will get replaced with an actual bed. That's what we're going to replace it with. So it looks like a pickup truck. This is a pull saw. This is a flexible one. And you can do flush cuts with this. I would have a squeeze-on by now. It was before I bought this squeeze-on blade, but just a simple pull saw. And you're going to go very slowly and cut a nice smooth line. Make sure that your tape lines are exactly identical on both sides so you get a nice square cab to work with. You don't want to have anything off angle. Let's speed up that process. And there you go, a nice smooth solid cut right along the tape lines. And let's remove that bed because we're not going to use that ever again. Mod 19 includes a great 3D printed part for the actual cab back, which will tie this whole thing together. That's the finished bed, which is also something Mod 19 offers. Here we are gluing in the 3D printed cab back panel. I just use CA glue and a little accelerator to get it to sit in place. The way Jeff constructed this whole kit, it's super easy. Once you've made the proper cuts, it's pretty foolproof. As you can see, I've built it. This extends outwards a little bit just to get the glue in the right spot, and then you glue it back down in place so it's flush with those cuts that you just made. Pretty simple, really. It's not a difficult process. Anybody can do this. A couple of the right tools and a lot of pre-planning and masking tape in the right places, and you will get a nice solid cab that's nice and straight, just like this one. And there you go. Super easy technique. Looks great in the end. Hope you found that demonstration on how to change the RC four-wheel drive Blazer into a Chevy pickup truck, courtesy of the Mod 19 conversion kit, which you can purchase through My Mini Factory. I'll make sure to put a link down below. Helpful and useful. It's some of the stuff you can apply to just about anything else, whether it be bobbing or pinching or bobbing or roberting a pickup bed. All of those things apply, and they're very useful, handy skills to have. And then finally, what we've got here on the bench is the Proline Mustang body for any drag car that is out there. No prep drag cars are still a thing. And in fact, I'm going to be painting and detailing this one and then giving it away. EVGA is running a promotion very shortly. And I'm a big fan of EVGA, and they sponsored the last month of Livestream Takeover, and I've always been looking to do some more stuff with them. So this is just one way of me thanking them for doing things for me. So we'll be painting and detailing this body using the Cricut. We'll be making a lot of paint masks. We'll be doing some different techniques, and I'm going to cover all of that in an upcoming episode of What's on the Bench. So you will be able to see the progress of taking this pure, clean, perfect Lexan body and ruining it with some paint. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And if you haven't watched that Cricut demo on how to cut your own paint masks or decals, it's the same process. I'll be sure to put a link up here in the video so you can see that at your leisure. All right, I think that's going to do it. Like I said, shorter than average episode, but probably longer with that whole styrene demo. So it's a standard episode, episode 5 of What's on the Bench Weekly. What should the main body color be? Keep in mind, it is a 1967 model Mustang, so it's going to be quite retro in its look, at least inspired in that way. So what color do you think I should go with? Put your comments down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. So there you go. That's what's on the bench this week. And of course, there will be more on the bench next week. Hoping to get a good, solid Earth Roamer update for you all. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.